Hey guys, Garlic here with another 2004scape video for you. In this video, I wanted to go through the Ranging Guild, and more specifically, the minigame that is inside the Ranging Guild. I know a lot of pures used to use this back in the day because it's a way to get lots of ranged XP without getting any HP levels at all. So you could have really high range, low HP, and absolutely shred people when you were PKing. So I've gone and tested it out for a little bit, and I sort of want to go through the minigame, how good it is, the rewards that you get, and also just sort of other things that are available in the Ranging Guild. Just sort of one complete video on this guild to let you know sort of what's here and whether it might interest you or not. So let's start with the minigame first of all. Essentially what you need to do is you shoot arrows at a target and then you get points, and then however many points you get, that gets converted into archery tickets. So you have to bring your own bow and you have to bring your own like range gear, but you don't have to bring your own arrows. They will be provided for you. How well you do on the accuracy hitting the target is dependent on your ranged accuracy bonus. So obviously, you know, if you could bring the best range accuracy that you can get, obviously I couldn't afford to get a ranger boots or Robin Hood hat, and I don't have 70 range yet, so I was just doing this in red D hides with a coif and a magic short bow and a glory. I also made sure to use the accurate attack style for that invisible attack bonus, so make sure that you're not on rapid if you're choosing to do this. And essentially how it works is you pay 200 GP to the judge and he will give you 10 bronze arrows, and you have to shoot those 10 shots at the target. You get 1 XP for every 2 points scored, and you get 1 archery ticket for every 10 points that you get. And the scoring goes as follows. So if you hit a bullseye, that's 100 points. If you hit the yellow in the center, that's 50 points. Then the 30 points for the red ring, 20 points for the blue ring, and then 10 points for the outer ring. It is also possible to miss the target completely, and you won't get any points if you do that. Now, the max score, if you were to hit a bullseye every single time, would be 1,000. That would give you 500 XP and 100 tickets for hitting the bullseye 10 times in a row. Obviously, that's not very likely to happen. I was doing it at my range level of 67. I did do the latter half of this at 68 because I got a level halfway through. But I was getting around 600 to 800 most rounds. The lowest round I ever got was like 320, and the highest I ever got was 900. But I was sitting comfortably between hitting 600 to 800 most of the time. Each round takes about 30 to 35 seconds to shoot all 10 arrows. And I went there with 20,000 GP, which got me 100 games. And doing 100 games, I got 32k ranged XP and 6.5k archery tickets. Now, if you would do this, that basically took me just under an hour. If you were to do it for the full hour, you'd be averaging about 36k ranged XP an hour and about 7.5k archery tickets per hour. Now, for the 20k that I spent, I got 6.5k archery tickets, and if I spent that on rune arrows, then that would, if I out all of those arrows, I get about 36k. I think they out for about 240 GP. I think people are selling them for 300, so I sort of lowballed it with the high out price here, but 36k if I out all the rune arrows, and I paid 20k to do those games, so that's about a 16k profit there, maybe more if you could sell the rune arrows at a higher price. And just to sort of give you an idea of how this would scale is, if I brought 200k GP and played 1,000 games, I would get around 320k ranged XP and about 65,000 archery tickets, which would net me 1,600 rune arrows. And if I were to alch all of those, I would get 384k. Obviously more if I sold the arrows off to other players. But if we just go by the out prices, for 200k, I would have made a profit of 184k, which is not too bad. Now, rune arrows aren't the only thing that you can buy with the archery tickets. You can exchange 140 archery tickets for the barb bolt tips. You would get 30 of them. You could exchange 150 archery tickets for a studded body. You could exchange the 2,000 archery tickets for rune arrows. This is basically the big one. I think this is what you would want to spend them on for the most profit coming back to you. So you get 50 rune arrows for 2,000 archery tickets. You can't like buy less than 50 at a time or more than 50 at a time. You have to have the minimum of 2,000 tickets to get those 50 rune arrows. You could get a coif for 100 archery tickets. You could get a green D-high body for 2,400 archery tickets, or you could get 20 adamant javelins for 2,000 archery tickets as well. So I think the rune arrows are the best option there. So that's the one that I would go for. I feel like the archery minigame is actually pretty good. I mean, for just being able to sit there and you know not needing food, not needing to bank, 36k XP an hour for ranged is like pretty decent, I would say. Obviously, you can increase that XP per hour if you bring better range gear or if you have a higher range level in general. So I kind of liked it. It did get a little bit tedious after a while, but it's sort of something that you would just AFK. You can actually line up the window so that the target is in the same spot as the close window button. So when you like hit the target, it will pop up and tell you what score you got. And then you have to close it to then hit the target again. But you can line the screen up so that you click close window and then you can instantly click again and it clicks the target. And you can just keep doing it really quickly by doing that. I'll show you an example of this when we go through and do the little tour of the ranging guild. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. So I spent just under an hour, like I said, spent 20k GP, did 100 games, got 32k ranged XP and 6.5k archery tickets in just under an hour. I haven't bought the rune arrows yet, but that would net me 150 rune arrows, which would get me about 36k or more if I sold them to other players. So I'll leave that up to you whether you think that's worth spending your time on. Maybe just some AFK methods to train ranged if you don't want to actually, have to bank or bring food or find a safe spot for something. But other than that, I think it's time we can move on and do a little tour of the other things that are available in the Ranging Guild. So I'm going to hop to real time now and I'll walk around and show you what's available here. Hey guys, Garlic in real time here. We have just finished up the 20k GP. As you can see, we've got the 6,548 archery tickets here. And I thought what I'd do is I'd just give you a quick tour of the Ranging Guild as well, because there are some other things that are available here that you might be interested in. Obviously, I don't know if I've remembered to mention, you do need level 40 range to actually enter the Ranging Guild, so you won't be able to come and access the minigame or any of these other things until you get level 40 ranged. But once you do, you can just come here. I'll put a picture up on the screen of where it is on the map. It's just near the fishing contest place near Sears Village. But once you're in here, I thought we'd just go through a couple of things. So there's a few different shops available to you in the Ranger Guild. There's the armor salesman, first of all, which sells the leather and the studded leather body and chaps, sells coifs, cowls, and leather vambraces. Prices are all in the chat there if you want to see them. Obviously, not really very useful, especially once you've already got 40 range to get in here, because you'll be moving on to the green dragon hide. But that is available if you would like to purchase any of those. We've also got the bow and arrow salesman here. This one's quite a nice shop, so they do sell arrow shafts. These are usually always bought out, but they should stock up to 1,000. They also sell all of the arrowheads up to rune. Prices in the chat box there for you. They also sell all of the arrows, bronze, all the way up to rune as well. More prices in the chat for you, as well as a short bow, an oak short bow, a willow short bow, a longbow, an oak longbow, and a willow longbow. So the arrows quite nice to buy from here. The arrowheads as well and the arrow shafts if you need some fletching supplies, also pretty good. So that's probably one of the best shops here, to be honest with you. And then over here, I believe we have the tribal salesman. So this guy is the guy that you need to go to if you want to buy javelins or for any reason. I'm not sure why anyone would want these, but you can buy the javelins all the way up to rune, and also the thrown axes all the way up to rune as well. Obviously, not much use for those until the DK lair comes out, but that is where you purchase those. And then in this building just over here, we can speak to the ticket merchant, and this is where you buy the rewards. So obviously, like I've already gone through, you've got access to the bar bolt tips, the studded body, the rune arrows, the coif, the dragon eye body, and the 20 adamant javelins. So I am going to purchase 50 rune arrows, and again, and again. So I've got 150 rune arrows there, still got 500 tickets left. I'll probably just hold on to those until I can buy another 50 rune arrows. But that's pretty nice. The other thing that I wanted to mention here as well is that there should be a leather worker, I believe, just over here. And this guy basically just acts as a tanner. He can tan cowhides and stuff for you. Obviously, I don't have any with me now to do that, but you can come here to do that. I'm not sure why you would ever want to, because it's very far away from any bank or anything like that. But that is a guy that is here, I guess, if you wanted to know about that. So there he is. Also, a quick sort of bit of lore as well is that the fletching skill cape actually used to be purchased from a guy in the Ranging Guild. Obviously, we don't have skill capes at the moment, but that's where you used to first buy it when it came out. But they actually ended up changing it to the guy in Catherby because people were complaining that they had got 99 fletching, but they didn't have level 40 ranged. So I guess, if you were a skiller, you just couldn't buy the skill cape. So that used to be here, but obviously skill cape's not in the game just yet, but I believe that this is where you'll be able to purchase that when they do get added. And then finally, there are some tower archers. Now, these guys are pretty deadly, so I would be very careful about doing this. I'm going to turn my prayer on before I go up, but you'll see in each corner there is a tower like this, and you can actually go up here, and on the top floor there are archers on the platforms. The north ones are the weakest guards, and then the west tower is the strongest guard. So you need to attack them with something that has a range of 9 or more. And they do fire iron and addy arrows at you, which I believe you can actually collect and pick up. So let me just sort of test this out for you guys. Okay, we can't go through that one. It's locked. Okay, I think I've found out what I was doing wrong here. I think you just have to come up this archer tower in the center here. So you can see there's these tower advisors. And then if I were to come and stand here, then I would be attacked by these guards over there in the tower. So these ones are level 61. And then these ones are level 42. So I think the level 61 ones shoot the addy arrows, and the lower tier ones shoot the other tier arrows. Now, apparently you can pick them up and collect the arrows, but it doesn't look like any of them are actually spawning on the ground. So I'm not sure whether that was added in old school or whether I just have to wait. Oh no, I just have to wait. Okay, so these guys shoot mithril arrows. That's interesting. So that's one way to collect mithril arrows, I guess. And I guess if you come over to the west ones, I think these are the most... these are the level 81 ones. So these ones will be shooting the adamant arrows that you can pick up. And then the north ones are level 22, so they're the weakest. So you can actually come up the ladder in the center here, and you can just sort of allow yourself to get shot by all of the guards, and then you can pick up the arrows that they shoot at you. I don't think it's going to really be a very effective method of collecting arrows, but you could potentially come here to train your ranged level. I think you might need a longbow, to be honest, to shoot them. But I guess maybe you could give that a go. So that is the tower archers as well in the up the ladder in the top. Be very careful about this. I've heard that people have been lured here before. So like someone will say, oh yeah, meet me up the ladder in the archer tower, and people go up and they just like get shot to pieces because I think they are multi and they can stack you out, especially the most powerful ones. So just be careful of that. But maybe a method that you want to try out yourself. I'm probably not going to bother testing that out, to be honest, but that's an option there if you would like it. But other than that, guys, that is going to be the video sort of on the Ranging Guild and the Ranging Guild minigame. I hope you found that useful. I might come back here eventually to get some more rune arrows. I think that might be interesting to do. But other than that, guys, if you think I've missed anything, obviously leave a comment like you always do. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video after you have liked, commented, and subscribed. Don't forget to do that. See you next time.